all the right folks are working on it. It's happening. It's just not there yet. And so those would be the concerns that I have. And I just add one more. The borders are getting a very significant focus right now, and that is most appropriate. Perhaps one of the last things, besides Kurd-Arab tensions, that we'll be focusing on as we draw down is the capability at the borders. Right now, we could use some increased capability at the borders. When the dust settles and the number is 50,000, or it's conditions-based, when the dust settles and the number is 50,000, I see, because of the Kurd-Arab tensions in particular, and because of the complexity of the battle space in the north, and because of the fact that a lot of the provinces in the south have actually been on their own for a while now, I do see that when the dust settles on 50,000, perhaps more will be in the north, yes. Mosul's got two elements of two Iraqi divisions, Iraqi army divisions. We do not have Iraqi police primacy in Mosul yet because the Iraqi police strength is not sufficient to get out and do significant rule of law enforcement operations. So the Iraqi army, under the operational command of Nineveh Operations Command, who has got a solid Iraqi two-star commanding it, is basically knocking back the violent extremist groups in Mosul. What is the situation in Mosul? What I see in Mosul is a weakened AQI, ISI cellular structure trying their best to stay relevant. Weakened as in we've knocked back their financial capabilities. We've knocked back their access to weapons, ammunitions, and explosives. How do we know this? We know this because the AQI and ISI elements are now resorting to extortion and kidnapping to get their funds. We know this because the IEDs they're using are much smaller than we've seen in the past. They're trying to rustle up what they can. And so that's what we're seeing there. However, they're down, but they're not out. And we have to keep the pressure on them. So on Election Day, there's freedom of movement. Voters do not feel harassed or intimidated. The candidates en route to the election, the weeks before the election, do not feel threatened. And so we're working on that, and it is primarily my partnered Iraqi army units that are doing that. We have absolutely outstanding, incredibly aggressive Iraqi Army Division commander in Mosul, very, very strong. Now, what are we doing for the elections? Right now, a lot of planning and prep going on with that. We are joined at the hip, if you will, with the IHEC, the Independent High Electoral Commission here in Iraq. And we are going to their meetings. We're sitting in the back listening to their meetings with our provincial reconstruction team partners in each province. So at the provincial level, we're listening to the Iraqi election planning and seeing where we can help with things like barrier material for polling sites, coordinating outer ring security. Obviously, there will not be a U.S. soldier in, and I do not think there'll be a U.S. soldier near a polling site. This is an Iraqi show. They can handle it. The Iraqis have a wonderful reputation for handling the big events like elections, and I have great confidence they can handle this one themselves. And so we'll be doing some outer ring security with our partners, with the Army. In most of my other cities, the police will be doing the inner ring security by themselves. The other thing we'll be doing to help with the elections is there will be international observers, UNAMI and others coming in. We'll provide them life support at bases near the locations they will have to go. They'll have to go observe, and we'll also provide them with transportation and security up to a point. So this is going to be an Iraqi show, but we're trying to help logistically and with external security as much as we can, and also freedom of movement. If you've got an Iraqi army soldier and a U.S. soldier at a checkpoint or patrolling in an area where there is high tension, where we know there are strong arm tactics or threats or intimidation, we want to tamp that down so there's freedom of movement of voters to get to the polls. Looking to rock the vote here. We're looking to get as many Iraqis out to vote as we can, and so we want to set the security conditions that will allow that. Iraqis are wonderful people that want what you and I want. They want a safe and secure environment for their children. They would like a job. They would like a source of income. They would like to feel valued. And I mean, this is all things that certainly U.S. soldiers have seen in other parts of the world, and it's not new to us. It's so different in each province what I see the Iraqis feeling and what I'm hearing from them. In some provinces, it's essential services. In some provinces, it's concern about a corrupt provincial government because either the provincial government is not delivering what they promised, or they're not seeing the progress they thought. And what I'm detecting overall is that there is a thirst for change and a desire to go out and exercise their freedoms, and the freedom to vote, the freedom to have to make a choice and have a government that is accountable to them.